Hello, dear students. A very warm welcome to you all. Myself, Mrs. Chaitali Chajet. I am going to teach you social science, and I'll be the class teacher of 7th A class. Hope we all together had a great time. So, let us start with the topic lesson number 4, that is Maharashtra before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. At the beginning of the 17th century CE, most of the territory in Maharashtra was under the control of Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar and Adil Shah of Bijapur. The Mughals had entered Khandesh. Their objective was to expand their power in the south. There were settlements of Siddhi people who had come from Africa along the coastline of Konkan. The competition and conflict amongst the Portuguese, the British, the French, and the Dutch who had come from Europe was going intense during this period. There was stiff competition amongst them to capture the markets for trade. The Portuguese had already established their rule in Goa and Vasai on the western coastline. The British, the Dutch, and the French had found an entry through the medium of trading companies by setting up factories. All these powers assessed the strength of other powers, kept themselves safe, and tried to dominate as much as possible. This conflict had created instability and insecurity in Maharashtra. These different people from Europe were called Topkar on the basis of their customary headgear. So, let us see now what this para explains us. It is said that in the beginning of the 17th century, our Maharashtra territory was ruled by two kings. So, who were those two kings? Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar and Adil Shah of Bijapur. So, students, remember, in the beginning, these two rulers were ruling our Maharashtra state. Because, as you all know, India was a very wealthy nation and all the kings had their wish to rule over India. Then, after that, the Mughals had also entered Khandesh. What was their objective? The objective of Mughals was to expand their power in the south. They were already having their power in the north, and their objective further was to rule in the south area. There were also some settlements of Siddhi people who had come from Africa, and they were settling along the coastline of Konkan. What do you mean by coastline, students? Coastline means the sea, along the sea, the area along the sea, outside the sea surface is called as coastline. So who were ruling there? The Siddhi people. They had settled there and they had come from Africa. So again further many people came from Europe to rule over Maharashtra. Who were there? Let us see. The Portuguese, the British, the French, and the Dutch, they all had come from Europe, and there was competition and conflict among them to rule over Maharashtra. And this competition was getting intense over the period of time. There was also a stiff competition among them, not only for ruling over Maharashtra, but also for capturing the markets for trade. Everyone's wish was to get the market and have a very nice trade so that they can earn good revenue from trade. Again, then who succeeded first? The Portuguese from Europe established their rule in Goa, and that's why we all know in Goa there was a rule of Portuguese initially. The first rule which from the Europe power came into existence was of Portuguese, and Vasai on the western coastline. The British, the Dutch, and the French had found an entry through the medium of trading companies by setting up factories. Also, they got the rule, but what was their medium of settling there? They set up their factories and just they got the rule over Maharashtra. So, all these powers, what they had, they assessed the strength of their powers to keep themselves safe, and also they want to dominate means what? Dominate means to rule. Their policy was to rule over Indians. as much as possible. This conflict had created instability and insecurity in Maharashtra. But obvious, all the regions around Maharashtra were getting empowered by the rulers, and so the Maharashtra region was in an unstable position and also insecure. There was fear for the Maharashtra state because all the around regions were taken by the European countries. These different people who came from Europe were called as Stopkar. The people, the Europeans, were symbolized as Topkar. Now, what is the meaning of Topkar? Because headgear, Topkar means pagdi. What they wore was pagdi, and that is symbolized as Topkar. So, they were called as Topkar on the basis of their customary headgear. Now, let us move further and understand the nature of the settlements. How was the nature of the settlements in the period before Shivaji Maharaj time? Okay, let us see what was the nature of settlement in Maharashtra. In this nature of settlement, we are going to see the three types. That is, first village, kasbah, and then pargana. So let us understand in detail what do you mean by village, kasbah, and pargana. It is necessary to get acquainted with the village, that is Moja, Kasbah, and Pargana to understand the nature of settlements in that period, as also of the officers that formed a link between the rulers and their subjects, and also the markets and the craftsmen. Pargana was made up of many villages. Generally, the headquarters of a Pargana was called Kasbah. The village smaller than a Kasbah was called Moja. Let us get acquainted in brief with village, kasbah, and pargana respectively. That means a very small village is called as moja, and then a little more villages make up kasbah, and a unit of villages, a very kasbah, make us pet, that is big village, is called as pet. Let us understand in detail now one by one. First, village, that is also called as moja. Most of the people lived in villages. A village was also called Moja. The chief of the village was the Patil. He used to try to bring maximum land under cultivation. When there was any dispute in the village, the Patil resolved it and made peace. A Kulkarni helped the Patil in his work. The Kulkarni kept the record of the revenue that was collected. There were various artisans in the village. They had hereditary rights regarding their occupation. The peasants gave a share of their agricultural produce to the artisans for the services they rendered to the village community. This share was known as baluta. So, let us see now, what do you mean by village? See, most of the people in the ancient times lived in villages. Villages means a very small area, okay? And what was the head of the village called? Village was also, the other name for village was Moja. And who was the chief of the village? What was he called? The chief of the village was called Patil. What was the work of the Patil? The work of the Patil was to bring maximum land under cultivation, to practice farming, okay? And then whenever there was any dispute means what? Any fights, okay? So whenever there was any dispute in the village, who used to solve these problems? Who used to resolve these problems? So who was in charge of this? Patil. Patil resolved it and tried to maintain peace in the village. So in short, what was the work of Patil? Patil was what? He was the chief of the village. What was his work? He tried to bring maximum land under cultivation and also tried to settle any dispute in the village and maintained peace. So please remember who was Patil and what was the work of Patil. Also in this work of Patil, who assisted him, who helped him? He was a Kulkarni. Kulkarni also helped Patil in his work. And what was the work of Kulkarni? Kulkarni, he recorded all the revenue that was collected. means in short he was doing the work of accountings, means what was the cash or revenue collected, how much cash was spent in the any work of the village. So all those records were kept by whom? Kept by Kulkarni. So just remember who were the two monitors of the village. They were Patil and Kulkarni. Then also there were some various artisans in the village. Artisans means those who created artist work. Okay, and what they were practicing? They were practicing hereditary rights. What was their rights? Their rights were occupation. So see, what do you mean by hereditary rights? Hereditary rights means whatever our fathers, our parents, what occupation they are being practicing, the same occupation we practice. For example, if any farmer's father or anyone whose father was practicing he was doing the occupation of a carpenter, then the son also followed the occupation of a carpenter. So this way it is called as hereditary right. Okay, hereditary occupation. So this way the artisans followed their hereditary occupations. And then what were they given? The peasants for some artisans were given one share. The peasants always gave them a share of their agricultural produce to the artisans. For what? Now it is not that anything is given in out of way. For what these peasants used to give them share to the artisans? For the services they rendered to the village community. Whatever artisans used to do for the village community, any work they did for the village, they were rendered. What services they rendered, they were paid for that by what? By giving a share of agricultural produce. And who used to give this agricultural produce? Peasants. Peasants meant what? Farmers. Okay, so just remember. And what was this share known as? This share means what? The part of agricultural produce given by the peasants to the artisans for their services. That share was called as baluta. Okay, what was it called as? Baluta. So remember, so in village topic, what are the head points we should know and what we should learn from that? That what is a village and who was the chief of the village? Again, who was the chief of the village? Patil and Kulkarni. What work they did? What work did Patil did? He tried to bring maximum land under cultivation and solve the dispute in the villages and maintained peace. What was the work of the Kulkarni? Kulkarni helped Patil in his work and also kept the record of the revenue. And the main third point to be remembered is Baluta. What was Baluta? Come on, recollect. Baluta means a share of agricultural produce given by the peasants to the artisans for the services rendered by them to the village. Okay, got it? Come on, now let's move further for the second one, Kasbah. A Kasbah was like a big village. It was usually the headquarters of a Pargana. Example, Indapur Kasbah of Indapur Pargana, Vai Kasbah of Vai Pargana were the headquarters of those Parganas. Agriculture was the main occupation. There were skilled artisans like carpenters, blacksmiths, etc. in a Kasbah. There was usually a market called as Pet adjacent to a Kasbah. The Shette and Mahajan were the Watandars of the Pet. Every village did not necessarily have a pet. The setting up of a pet was the job of the Shettes and the Mahajans. For that, they received some land from the government and some rights from the villagers. The Mahajan maintained the accounts of the pet. So now we have studied village means a very small place. So a little big than that, a big village is called as Kasbah. And what was it? It was usually the headquarters of a Pargana. So see, all these examples I have given. Indapur Kasbah of Indapur Pargana, Vai Kasbah of Vai Pargana. All these were the headquarters of those Parganas. Now what were their main occupation? They generally practiced which occupation? In the Kasbah, which occupation was practiced? Agriculture, right? Then also there were skilled artisans like carpenters, blacksmiths in the Kasbah. Then nearby Kasbah, adjacent to the Kasbah, nearby Kasbah, there was a market which was called as Pet. Then who were the Vatandas of the Kasbah? Vatandas means again monitors. Like in village, who were the two monitors? Patil and Kulkarni. Same way in Kasbah, two monitors were there. They were called as Shette and Mahajan. What were their work? Shette and Mahajan. Now every village did not necessarily have a pet. Some villages have pet. Okay, so it is not necessary that every village will have a pet. Then the setting up of a pet was the job of the Shettes and the Mahajans. So what was the work of the Shettes and Mahajans? Their job was to set up a pet, to set a market. Okay, that was their job. And for that, for their services for setting up the pet, they received some of the land from the government and also some rights from the villagers. Okay, then this was the job done by the Vatandas, and also the Mahajan maintained the accounts of the pet. Like in village, who maintained the accounts? Kulkarni. Same way in Kasbah, the Mahajan maintained the accounts of the pet. Now, something extra which you need to know. Let us see. As per the order of Veer Mata Jajabai, a pet was established in Pashan near Pune. It was called Jijapur. Malpura, Khelpura, Paraspura, Vithapura in Aurangabad are also new pets established in the name of Maloji, Kheloji, Parasoji and Vitoji respectively. Shivapur, adjacent to Khed, was a pet established in the name of Shivaji Maharaj. So these are the names of the pets which were established in what areas they have given us. So you need to know that and you need to remember them very nicely. Okay. So remember in Pune, which pet was there near Pashan? Which was that? Come on. It was Veer Mata Jijabai. A pet was established. Okay. And it was called as Jijapur. Then again in Aurangabad there were new pets established. Again then in the name of Shivaji Maharaj there was one pet adjacent to Khet. It was called as Shivapur.